What up, everyone? Welcome back. Thank you, as always, for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co host, Andrew Don't Get It Twisted Lapachet. And this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for stopping by on this lovely, cooler, yet still kind of warm Wednesday afternoon, heading into evening in this fantastic September evening. We are officially in the fall season. I believe Monday or Tuesday was the first day of fall or autumn, whatever it is that you call it. And of course, it doesn't feel any different here in Las Vegas. We're still in the 90s, which I guess that does a little bit different, but it's still hot as hell. And that's usually how it is. Our summers tend to drag around here. But regardless, it is officially the first day of, or that's the first few days of the fall season 2025. So welcome in the fall. Expect the changes of the leaves on the trees and the weather and whatnot. So definitely looking forward towards that because generally tend to be more of a cooler person. I don't really like the heat as much as I do the cooler weather. But that does also usher in the last, I guess, what would it be? Last quarter, September, October, November, December, almost where the last quarter of the year. We're entering the last third, I guess, if we want to split up into three, because we got some stuff going on here. We got Andrew making some faces on his side, and I got some information for y'all because again, as it tends to be, there's not a lot of news in during the week sometimes. And you know what? It just so happens that a couple of things did transpire between Sunday and now. In particular, two press conferences that we're going to be talking about: Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Stuff that we're a little weird on. I don't know. I heard some information. I'm not entirely sure what's right, what's wrong. Things are changing on the fly, it seems. So we're going to be talking about that, amongst a couple of other topics that we're going to be talking about. Perhaps we might be seeing Ryan Garcia before the end of the year, possibly. But again, not too much news in the last few days besides what we saw. And I'm sure that these couple of press conferences that we saw on Monday and Tuesday are going to be. They're going to keep us busy talking for a hot minute at least. So we're going to be talking about that. But before we get into all of that, Andrew, what's going on, dude? How's your week gone? How's your Wednesday going?
Hey, how's it going, Miguel? I was blinding myself. Sorry about that. I turned on the light and it was a little too bright at first. Um, no, doing good. Guys, working. It's Wednesday, so just working. You are right though. Today overcast. It was
Mhm.
still warm. Beautiful day, really, with no sun. Warm, but no sun. So it really was a beautiful day. It's one of those days you can do a lot, get a lot done in the backyard, front yard, yard work, stuff like that. Um, but I had to work. Now I'm home and it is raining. It's raining right
Oh
now.
shit!
It's
Okay.
very light. It's very light though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a humidity's high because of that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With the heat, adding with the heat. Thought I was gonna see a little or hear a little bit of thunder, see some lightning, but no, not yet. Nothing like that. But nah, doing good, doing good, Miguel.
Got to make sure to roll up your windows. That here in Vegas, I'm so used to cracking my windows because it gets so hot, right? So I don't like roll the window all the way to the very top. I don't know if roll the window is even the proper thing anymore because we don't do this anymore, right? We don't do that. It's just a button. But anyway, I don't roll the window to the very top because it's always hot as hell here. I always crack it just a bit, and every so often I get one of those rainy days, and it's like, fuck, I left it a little bit too low, and all that like armrest area of the door gets all wet. It's like fuck. So reminder to you, Andrew, in the event that you happen to do the same thing, make sure to roll up your windows to the very top. That's a public service announcement for everybody. All right. Well, as we talked about, there were two press conferences this week, Monday and Tuesday, I believe it was, one in New York and one in Miami, for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. That will be taking place live the 14th of November in Miami, Florida, live on Netflix. That is yet another Netflix event that's going to be taking place before the year's end. There might be even one more. Who the fuck knows? But definitely in November, we got that one going. So we're going to see. We talked about it on Sunday. We're going to see how successful or lack thereof that one will be because starting with that very first press conference, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it was kind of lame. Everything was just very quiet. It was obvious that, well, I guess we should have already known this, that Gervonta's is not great on the mic, right? He doesn't like to really be in front of the camera in that way. It seems like he kind of doesn't really answer the questions properly. He these press conferences, I lost count how many times he said, "Oh, I'm going to put on a great show, put on a great show, put on a great show." Like that was his like go-to line, and I'm like, "All right, we get it, dude. We get it. You're going to go out there and put on a great show, like you said, But it was obvious that he just wasn't comfortable there. That's not his place. Um, Everything seemed kind of dead, like maybe, and it did pick up a little bit for the second press conference. It got a little wild slightly, but there's a little bit of a shoving thing going on, right? So we can start on the very
That's
first
day
one.
2, though. Yeah, that's day 2.
Oh,
to
day two.
shove. Yeah.
Because that
Isn't
first one
it?
just seemed. I don't. I mean, maybe because
Yeah,
both days. Fuck
because in day 1, remember, he goes down to his level. He like crouches real low.
Yeah.
Then he comes. Yeah, day 1, he's doing Jake Paul's
Okay.
doing the whole eyesight thing, and then day 2, I believe there is a shove. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So things got, they got popping on the second one, right? But man, that first one just seemed so flatline. It was just so flat. I mean, I should say so flat. It was dead. There wasn't that kind of buzz that I thought maybe there was going to be. I don't know. I know that there were a couple of times where some of the media asked questions or something, but I don't think they. If it was, I don't think it was open for the the public, right? I don't think it was. At least I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. But if it was, it sure sounded pretty dead in there. It was pretty quiet. What was your first impression when you saw it? Like, did you think like, damn, these guys are they not trying to hype it up? What the fuck? Everything looked pretty flat here.
I gotta agree a little with Jake Paul. Either Gervonta skipped a few days in school, or he's been hit too many times in the head. I don't know which one it is, man, but that guy was struggling behind the microphone just to get words out, pronunciations out. Hey, he's a little like me, huh? Me and Gervonta probably hung out a lot in school together. We're like
in detention.
We're like this. You want to go home? Yeah, let's go home.
Yeah, let's bounce.
No, seriously though. Yeah, he was struggling, nervous, maybe, just not a quick thinker, Miguel. He's just not quick, right? He doesn't have
distracted almost. He was like playing with his headphones or something in his hands. It was just his mind was elsewhere, huh?
Nerves. That's the nerves of not knowing what you're gonna do, what you're gonna say. I really, come on. I've always talked. Gervonta's always been a little suspect to me, right? I love how his thought process of getting back to Jake was to talk about his clothes and his hairstyle. I was like, oh, Gervonta, no. Look at your outfit. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. Look at your hair. And he does his little, do you see his head, Miguel?
Yeah.
He does a lot of that, bro. I really do think that maybe it's possible. I don't ever heard of his dad being around. Maybe he was just raised by his mom. He's got a lot of her mannerisms. But yeah, he's like, look at what you're wearing.
Like you wore that shirt last week. What the fuck? Like, okay.
It was hella fun. Gervonta's just funny, man. The jacket, like the next day, day 2, the jacket. I swear, under that jacket, I think he had one of those half shirts. The shirts. I think he had one of those under. I'm serious. Because the jacket's too short. Miguel, where's the fucking shirt at?
Yeah.
Let me tuck.
No, I hear you. It's one of those like old school jerseys that would come up to here.
The Dallas Cowboys running back used to do it a lot. He brought that shit back. He used to wear it under his jersey. What the hell's his name? Gosh darn it. I'm forgetting his name. He didn't turn out to be that great. But anyways, he used to wear that and everyone was like, really? That's what we're doing today? But nah, Gervonta.
He's a funny guy if it was intentional, but he's not. It's like all the funniness that he is not intentional. It's just the way he is, and that's why.
Exactly.
All right, I guess so.
Maybe a lot of sisters, bro.
Could be.
Maybe he comes from one of those big families where he's like the only boy. You know what I mean? Just hella cousins and sisters.
A lot of aunties.
Yeah, and girls, just girls. Yeah, it could be, could possibly be. But I think he did get him back. Fucking, it did work for Jake Paul. I mean, Gervonta's favor when Jake Paul fucked up with the. You got Gervonta tattooed on your eyebrow so you don't forget it. He's like, that's my daughter, dumbass. And that's my son, dumbass. And I told you have a mohawk, dumbass. That was a good one. That was the day he won that one. Tank definitely won that exchange right there. Stupid, both of them. All right, now about the face-off. I don't know, Miguel. This is the first face-off I'm talking about.
Okay.
He does look really small.
And I did tell you, like you questioned whether or not he was going to go that route, Jake Paul. We knew it. He was gonna do the whole height thing. I didn't know he was gonna do that. Where he's like kneeling over like he's in some fucking pee-wee football, like giving a little huddle to his homies. He just looked right over him. I was like, yeah, okay. I figured he was gonna go that route. I mean, why wouldn't he?
He's gonna have to be quick on his feet. Look, he's talking about experience. That's what he has over Jake. Jake can't learn that. Jake's learning mitt work. He's learning how to punch. That's all great. But movement, if you can move, there's angles, there's ways he can maybe possibly get one of his shots in, take him to the ropes and land a real decent combo. Try to show him what a real puncher's like. But he has to be fast on his feet. And I don't know if Tank has ever done that. Now, granted, that's Tank versus professional fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a professional fighter. He's like celebrity / boxer, whatever, right? So that's what Tank has going for him. Now, about the weight, everyone's doing too much with the weight thing. If Jake Paul has to be 195, correct?
Right.
We seen what we need to pull up, Miguel, is what did Gervonta look at 140, right? The night that he fights Barrios, we need to know what he weighs that night. What's he look like? What if he's 147 on that night? Now, because he still won a title, he still looked good. I don't expect him to be 195, you guys. Like, I don't. I think that'd be absurd to think that he's going to come in that heavy. This is not a real fight where they have to come in like that, correct?
Right. It's an exhibition.
It's an exhibition. So he's going to come in at something that gives him muscle, gives him power. But I don't think he's going to be 135, so everyone could chill out about how, they keep, he's a fucking 60-pound difference. Dude, that's Gervonta starving him fucking self, right?
Yeah, that's weigh-in day. That's not even like in the ring fight weight.
Yes. So they should be a lot closer fight night. So I'm not really worried.
That much closer, you think? Because, like, here's the thing. If Jake Paul does, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he fought at 190 when he fought Anderson Silva. So I know he can make it. But 195, all right. He's not going to weigh in 195 come fight night. He's going to gain some weight. I don't know how much more, but maybe another 8-9 pounds? Maybe.
See, I didn't know they were going to allow him to gain weight.
Well, I don't know. It's an exhibition. Are there clause like that in exhibitions like that?
That's silly to give a man a weight limit he can absolutely reach, and then not have no penalty overnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid on Tank's fault. If that is the situation, then yeah, Tank has a problem with that because he definitely is going to be over 200 and probably 8 pounds when he fights him. So that's silly. I'm hoping Tank put something. Maybe that's why Tank was going, hey, it's 190 because that 5 pounds is going to matter. What if it's only 10 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
By them adding 5, they just added. Now it's 15 pounds he gets to gain overnight. Where Tank is like, motherfucker, it was supposed to be 190 to 200. You know what I mean? So that's big. Then we need to. Maybe someone can ask a hardball question. You know what, Miguel? You've been making me a little bit nervous with all this talk about how the UFC basically made their own media room, right? Kicked out hardball question guys, gave them a bunch of soft. Dude, these questions that they're asking to Jake Paul and Tank is fucking lower than pathetic. If Drake bets, what are you guys gonna do to make what? Like what if Drake? That's what you fucking thought of while you were sitting in your chair. I can't wait until they pick me. I got this question about Drake, bro. Drake's gonna bet on him, bro.
What? As soon as the fight was signed, I had this question ready for you guys about Drake.
It's insane. The questions are really insane. It makes me say, oh, the one guy, the bet seemed really planted. That seemed like a planted media guy or friend because they both kind of knew this cat. You know what I'm saying? I don't know all these YouTubers and all that, but these guys did. Tank and Jake, I'm talking about, both knew him. But it seemed planted. How do you go from 250,000 to 2 million? This guy is not even in the bed anymore. You get scared. You did your job, Pee Wee. Go sit down now.
Yeah, you started the conversation.
Yeah.
Good job. You got a free ticket to the fight.
And I don't know if the questions are supposed to be hard, but they just seemed a little bit too phony.
Yeah, even Brian Custer, who was with Showtime before. So the questions, and this is the thing. Look, there are times where I can't think of a good question to ask when I'm in the meeting room. So I will stay quiet. I will not, just for the sake of getting some sort of content. I get it. People will go out there and ask some fucking stupid ass questions, and they'll do it. I get it. When I hear Brian Custer, who's a professional, ask these questions, like, how do you feel this, and how does it make you feel this? And it's like, that gets so like, outdone. I'm like, all right, enough. Stop it already. Like, enough. Ask them better damn questions. And to some point, he was asking better questions, but those were like just some of the most softball, like underhanded fucking shit.
And you're right. And you're right, though. We missed the first one. Someone did ask a hard ball, and I think that's why on day 2 they planted the guys on the microphone. Because in the day 1, sorry, Miguel, I staged that wrong. Remember day 1, the guy asked about Roach.
Yeah.
Lamont. Yeah. And fucking, dude, what kind of response was that from Tank? Just be a fan and watch. You guys talk about our personal life. Tank, what are you talking? Don't you know what an athlete is? You think you're the first guy they've ever brought up his personal life? Yeah. That was just weird. So he asked a hard question. He gets drilled for it basically by Tank. Avoids the fucking question. It gets just like Floyd. We win so much. Y'all just want to see us lose? It's like, no, bro. We want to see you unify. We want to see you fight another champ. We want to see you have a better name than Ryan motherfucking Garcia on your resume and Mario Barrios. You know what I mean? Dude, that was weird. That was weird how he responded to that. Because he's not Floyd. He doesn't even. Floyd in the lightweights put him on the pound for pound ranking. Right? Him beating Chiquito Hernandez and Diego Corrales, right? Got him there. That's what gets him already there. It's his first fucking division. What are you talking about? Like, Floyd didn't become, and I'm not saying number 1. I'm saying on the list and never looks back, right? It starts on day 1 for Floyd. Floyd didn't have to wait. And he goes up to Castillo. He goes up to Gotti. These are all big names. You know what I'm saying? It's Tank. He's got Ryan. He's got Barrios, and who else above? Because I don't, dude.
Santa Cruz, Leo Santa Cruz.
I was gonna say, I don't count Santa Cruz though. He's very small, man. That was a weak fight, bro. That was
That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got some people, but I mean, fuck, Frank? What's I already forgot his fucking name.
Frank Martin.
Yeah, Frank Martin.
Frank Martin. Yep. No, but yeah, no, definitely, he doesn't have the names that Floyd had at lightweight. He doesn't have anything comparable. So please stop with, we win so much, y'all just want to see us lose. You're not even in the fucking same breath.
And he responds with like, well, why should I care? Why should I care? What the fuck you mean? Why should you care? Like, people pay to watch you fight, food. Like, look, I'm not going to say that fighters should base their whole careers off what fans want to see entirely. But to a certain degree, you kind of have to. That's kind of your demographic. You don't just, McDonald's doesn't sell hot dogs. They sell burgers because that's like their demographic, right? It's just how it is. To a certain degree, if you want people to pay for your pay-per-views or pay for tickets or pay your merch or pay whatever, close circuiting, whatever the hell, you kind of have to give fans to a certain degree what they want. And what they want is fights against these guys. So when he answers stuff like that, like, why should they fight? Like, what the fuck you mean, fool? Like, do you really think everybody wants to see this fucking fight?
He should just look at the numbers that he did against Ryan compared to the other guys on pay-per-view, right? Because that was the fight everyone wanted to see, and Lamont Roach and Frank Martin were not the fight everyone wanted to see. So go look at how the numbers did. It's he's kind of delusional when he talks like that. It's our fault. It's PBC's fault. The PBC fan base's fault. The guys that sold out all those arenas for him, giving him those sellouts for what? You know, I know we all had hopes. He looked like the guy, right? He has the tats, he has the power, he's undefeated,
He
good
still does.
boxer.
He still does.
He still does, but this is going to change him. This will change him because he is going to come in heavy that night. So his training, everything's going to be thrown off. He might be thrown off for, you know, I don't want to put a timetable on it, but I don't expect him to be 100% like lightweight when he comes back. If he comes back, might not even have that hunger if he gets paid enough. Seriously, this seems like that type of guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem like he fights for legacy. Matter of fact, we know for a fact he does not fight for legacy. So this might really put out the fire. He might be a welterweight when he comes back. He might be looking at a new Adrian Broner, bro.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I like Jake Paul going after the woman abuse thing. I think we gave him that advice. That was good that he took that. That always sells, and it should. There's no reason why you can't put a man on blast. Now, Tank, your excuse was kind of stupid, right? Oh, I must not have hit her because other women haven't accused me of hitting them. You could only there's only one girl sometimes that gets you to go there, right? She knows how to press your buttons.
She knows how to turn that.
Maybe she don't love you as much as you love her. She knows how to work that on you, right? There's ways to trigger a man, right? So
sure.
I hope you don't have the temper that fires on any girl that walks by and just gives you a dirty look. Jesus.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you didn't strike your baby mama when she said she, you know, I don't know, had cheated on you with some other athlete or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 6'6" guy, and he was a lot bigger. I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing shit at the wall of what it could be to trigger a
that
guy
is most likely
woman.
What it is. That's
right?
Not likely. It's like, well, this guy can fucking read. Like, oh, what bitch? Fuck. You know, then he loses his shit after that. Starts flipping tables.
MVP, PV. Oh, my bad.
Most valuable player or something. Like, yes, Tank, sure. Oh my.
No, that is Rocky 101, man. Do not give that guy a cue card, man.
Yeah.
Do not. He ain't reading shit. He will be back. The fact that he can't stand behind a microphone, he can't read what's on the table. He will be back, Miguel. This will not be his last fight. I'm calling it right now.
Oh yeah, I believe that. What do you make of that discrepancy with the weight? Like I know that. I mean, it seems like a mild misunderstanding, but when I forget his name, but the dude who was the promoter of this, he was like on the podium talking about 195, and then he's like, "What? We said 190." Like what? Shouldn't this already been decided? Like, shouldn't this already be? You know, like where was the miscommunication here? Like, what the fuck was that?
It was decided. What Tank probably did is he walked into that lawyer's office with no representation and probably didn't read that fucking contract from front to back. And maybe he did and just missed a few letters because he can't even get MVP. That's only 3.
Yeah, 3 initials.
So, yeah, it could be something like that, bro, where they told, oh, yeah, 190. You know what almost happened to me? Damn, got a story, dude. Bought a car. Yeah, I'm like 20 years old. I'm like 19 years old. About to buy a Trans Am, dude. 2000. I don't know. It's a big one, bro. T-top. I'm like, fuck yeah. They're like, yeah, you could take it. Credit passed. Money's good. You want it? You can have it tonight. I said, fuck yeah, I do. Sign. Let me sign. He goes, all right. I forgot why I had to go back. I had to go back to sign some papers like 3 days later. They may take it for the weekend or whatever. Bad idea on their part, but whatever, because we'll get back to. So they let me take it. I take off, ride around. My uncle goes, I want to go with you to go sign those papers when you're ready to do this, because just want to look over everything. I said, all right, yeah, no problem, Uncle. Then my uncle is my guy. That's my number one dude. Fucking, we go to the car dealership. I'm ready to sign. I'm just juiced. Car's still fucking hot, right? And my uncle's flipping. I'm like, man, Dude's hating on me. I'm trying to get out of here, ready to go. And he goes, "Hey, what's this? Why does it say the warranty shuts off tomorrow? I thought you said he has 3 years or whatever on it still."
Hmm.
And the fucking date, third page into the contract, they had me shutting it down to the next day. Swear to God, my uncle caught that.
Damn.
Yep. He
Dirty
said, "I don't think you
motherfuckers.
should be with these guys, Andrew. How do we know this car is good when they?" I said, "Just get up, walk
Yeah.
out. Your tires are a little bald too. You might need new tires, bro."
Uh,
Sorry. But anyways, that happened. So it happened to me, right? Not
yeah.
reading, Miguel. True
Mhm.
story, man. He caught that. I didn't. I would have signed and had no motherfucking coverage on that car's engine when I do donuts all the way down the road, fucking for the next 5 years.
Uh,
So, so that happened, and maybe that happened to young Tank Davis, where they got you, right? That's where Chappelle goes, "Gotcha, bitch."
oh yeah.
That's what you know. That's what they wanted to do behind the podium, right there to him. And he smiled. He said, "All right." Probably went home, ran home, grabbed the contract, and seen them fuckers put a 195 because that 15 pounds now is a lot.
Mhm.
That's a big meal he can have overnight.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. That threw me off when I saw that. I was like, "Hold on, why is this? What's with this misinformation here?" That's what threw me off. Did you catch when Tank was like basically like threatening Jake Paul about something? And I rewound it and I watched it a few times and I couldn't quite catch it. He was saying Jake Paul was saying something to Tank, and he was like, "Oh, yo, and if I find out some shit, watch. If I find out some shit, it's like." Hold on, what did I miss? What the fuck? Like I didn't hear. And then he starts looking at somebody, Jay Leon Love, I think, or somebody that's fucking like, I guess a front row or something, right in front of the stage. And he starts looking at him too. And it's like, hold on. What I totally didn't catch what exactly he was threatening him with, but it seemed as though he was saying something along the lines that was outside of the ring, or Jake was at least, because I
Steroids.
didn't hear. Oh, is that what it was?
Steroids. He's saying any funny business, right? If I hear shit about you guys are on anything or it's not a
Mhm.
clean fight, is what I'm guessing, right? It's not a clean fight because at first I thought, well, he just gave it up. This fight's fixed,
Sure.
right? Because it sounds like a threat. It sounds like Gervonta's in line. Don't mess up or I'm gonna whoop your ass. So I was like, but I believe it's the steroid thing that they keep saying about Jake Paul, right? That he's on roids and he's roided out. Remember, they're supposed to be doing the WADA testing or something, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're supposed to do some sort of like third
Special
party,
testing.
yeah,
So
anti-doping. Yeah.
if that is all legit, you guys, I don't know if it is with Tank saying that, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't think Tank wouldn't have to say that if the guy's being fucking P tested on on a surprise visit, right? All throughout the training camp. So I hope that's what it is. I hope it isn't the fact that Tank's saying, "Hey, I'll take a majority decision defeat as long as you guys don't fuck around with me." It better not be a
Yeah,
fixed
one of
fight, bro.
those. It's like,
Can't
hey,
be a
yo, we agreed on it. If I find out y'all try to do something what we agreed upon, or that we didn't agree upon. I thought about that for a hot minute because we on Sunday or after the show we were thinking about these upcoming press conferences and uh, who in the to not get sued in the event it is a fixed fight. Um, I don't know who's willing to take the L because we and I'm going to talk about it later on here. Jake Paul with the possible Anthony Joshua in 2026, and then even Alexander Usyk kind of clapping back at him through Twitter. He's got potential opponents, but that would be kind of lowered, or I guess like the hype would be kind of lowered if he loses. But by that same token, Tank is undefeated. I don't think he's willing to give up his O, is it? I mean, granted, it is just an exhibition, but if he's going to go in there against a YouTuber who's bigger, and I know I'm just calling him a YouTuber, but he's had some boxing fights, several boxing fights since, but like I don't know if he's willing to like go in there and be like, all right, I'll take the unanimous decision loss. My exhibition O or whatever is gone. I'm not sure if he's willing to do that. So now I'm a little torn. Like, if in the event that this is a fix and it's rigged, which one is the one that's going to be willing to give up that loss?
I don't believe they're fixed because of the Tommy Fury fight. I'm
Well,
sorry.
not all of them. Maybe not all of them, but maybe this one.
But see, I don't think he picks like that. If
No.
if Jake was fixing fights, then he was fixing from the beginning, and that's all this is one big entertainment show where he's putting on a show basically, right? A
Mm,
performance. So I don't think he's picking and choosing when he's fighting for reals and when he's not. That's just me.
okay.
He tried his skills against Tommy and he lost, right? So he went and sharpened up his skills, got his confidence up, took out some MMA guys, a former boxer in Chavez, or champion really in Chavez, and now he wants to try it again, but he's going small, right? He's got obviously Tank is way better than Fury skill wise, but he's hoping the size he won't feel his punches. Hell, maybe if Tank is too flat footed, maybe he never even gets close to him. There's that possibility because they're so big. If Tank isn't moving and shuffling a little, right? You got to move
Mm,
your feet a little, get on the inside of a big guy. You're not going to just walk in. We all seen Tyson try to do that with Lewis. Really didn't play in his favor, right? That was kind of
I
easy.
mean, Lewis,
Oh, it was just two
Jake.
punches though, bro. Bam, 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 bam. That's all Jake's gonna have to do. 1, 2. It ain't nothing special. You're coming at so high, and he's trying. He's down here trying to get in. No, that would hurt Tank too. The guy's 200 and something pounds landing a straight right hand on you. I'm just saying, you got to move a little.
Hmm.
We need Tank to be light on his feet, something that I don't really see him do. Because it's not the same fight. You can't just say, "Oh, he's gonna pull back, pull back and counter, pull counter."
Hmm.
How? When the guy's fucking got how many? What's the reach that he's gonna have on him? Right. So he's got to
Mhm.
get on the inside. He's not gonna be able to stay on the outside, in my opinion. And his arms looked really short, bro. Everything looked small when they did
Yeah.
the first face off. I'm sorry. He had like
Yeah.
I looked at that and was like, fuck. And you know another thing that got me scared was Terrence Crawford's um prediction or theory on the fight.
Mm.
He likes Jake Paul. He said Paul's too big. He's all I don't see how Tank is gonna get on the inside. And I was like, fuck, really? There's no you know what I mean? You're not gonna give your guy a fucking ounce of I don't know if Terrence doesn't like Tank, but he kinda acted like it's a silly fight because of the size difference. I beg to differ, but Tank is not the fastest guy on his feet. Maybe everyone else is like, come on, you're asking him to do something he doesn't do. He's going to stay on the outside and he's going to eat possibly a big right hand from a fucking guy that's, what, 60 pounds maybe heavier that night? Because
Well,
now, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, his defense might not be the best. I'm talking about Gervonta, but he's still quick though. He's still quick. I mean, the counter and again, the reach is going to be a problem because if you watch the way he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, it was just like boom, counter, missed the last uppercut or the right hand from him, and he does it the way he dropped Ryan. It was just like duck under that fucking left or the lead left, those lead left hook, and then he came back with his left. Now I get it. He might not be able to catch him or reach him the same, but he's going to have that same counter punch and reaction time, I think, at least. Now, whether or not he can reach him with that punch is another story, of course. But I don't see for as short as they are. Yes, they're going to be at a disadvantage, but people can use their height if they're shorter as an advantage because all you really have to do is duck a little bit lower and he's missing the punch. Again, he does have to go inside. I get that, and to get inside, he's going to have to cross that range
He's got to eat
momentarily.
something.
He's got to eat something. And it just, I don't think. I think his defense is good enough to not have to eat too many right hands to get inside. I don't. I mean, it's not like Jake Paul has this crazy, baby bull fucking punch out, output like Pacquiao or Juan Diaz, where they just throw a bunch of punches. He doesn't do that. He does wait a lot. He does rest a lot. So there's going to be opportunities where I think Tank is going to be able to sneak in, basically. But
The question, Miguel, will be the power when he does land it. Will it knock Gervonta back 3 steps?
mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's what it comes down to with he's gonna eat some of these. How is it gonna affect him, and how many does he how many is he gonna be eating before it does start affecting? So it's interesting. I hope it's real. I still got
Mhm.
my money on Gervonta. Not like I'm switching my money over to fucking Jake. I'll tell you that right now. I'm boxer all the way on this, professional. I like Gervonta's. Seems to be very confident on the experience. Just isn't the same. And he was all, "What'd you do? You fought what 5 years ago? All right, we'll see."
Yeah.
That
Like
was pretty cool.
how you been boxing? 5 years? All right, that's cute.
That's cute. Yeah, exactly. Right. Right.
That on that note of confidence, and this is and I you've talked about it before, and I've agreed. When we have to give Jake Paul his credit for what he's done so far as like getting boxing on fucking Netflix, we'll give him his flowers for that. When he uh, what irks me, I think, what pisses me off the most is the fact that he's so confident in these fights. He's so arrogant. It's obvious what he's doing, right? He's choosing these MMA dudes who can't box for shit or whatever, choosing a boxer who's old as fuck, or Anderson Silva who was 40 something, Chavez Jr.'s fresh out of, it's like whenever he gets these criticisms from the media and other people, he's like, all right, yeah, I'll fight a boxer, yeah, yeah. And then he gets Chavez. We're like, fool, really, fuck, and it's like, all right, you want a pound for pound, fool, cool, I'll fight the next pound for pound guy, and it's Gervonta who's fucking tiny. It's like, dude, do we really have to split hairs here? Do we really like? Is this really what we're doing? Like next time he's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna fight a fresh Olympian, a fresh out of the Olympian, and it's gonna be some fucking Special Olympics kid or some shit like that. It's like, dude, really, do we have to do that? Do we have to really go and split hairs and be like, all right, fight somebody your fucking height, yeah, and when he comes into these fights, he comes in with these so much confidence, as if he's done so much and he's fought top tier guys and he's beat them. And he's like, yeah, that's right. Like, I have a right to be extremely confident. Dude, you're literally choosing a guy who's substantially smaller than you in this case. Like, the arrogance is just, it upsets me so much, because it's like, really, like, where do you get all this fucking the gall to be this confident, knowing you're going into this fight against a boxer who you're fucking huge over, who's like way smaller than you? Like, where was his confidence? Where will this be his confidence when you're going to be fighting, if it ever happens, Alexander Usyk or and Anthony Joshua? That pisses me off. That arrogance, like, dude, we know what you're doing, fool. You're choosing these fucking dudes. Stop being so fucking cocky.
I agree with you. He has shown. I've gotten a little tired of. I'm the most watched male fighter of all time. I have the most viewed boxing match ever. I was like, all right. It did make me get a little heated hearing him with that bullshit, because we know what it is. Like what you just said, a lot of matchmaking going on. Guys aren't really even boxers. Now, with that being said, I got to blame the media a little. There's a lot of media that like to stick it to boxing. So every time Jake fights, they like to put it out there. Oh, did the most views. Oh, look at the most watched boxer. Oh, my God. Under Canelo, it is Jake Paul, the most blah, 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 blah. And I've seen it many times on the media side where they are hyping him up. And he is reading this stuff and going, yeah, see, they know. And look at the media is not the same. I think
No.
we clearly can tell through what we see on TV, who's in the background, what we're watching on the weigh-ins. Anyone that's been involved in the media that knows what they're looking at can see it is a bunch of fucking guys from the other side that play both sides of the fence. It is a lot of YouTubers, influencers, people that get numbers, and that's it, man. Like this isn't real journalism anymore. There's no one out there like really grinding for a story. No one's got I've got this story that I'm working on that I'm going to release. My editor really wants it. He's waiting for this. Ain't none of that anymore.
No, it's like,
No.
I got Ryan Garcia eating hot wings. Fuck yeah, let's put this shit on. Stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yes. It's gotten real watered down. It's all a show.
Mm.
Which I'm happy for boxing, because when the numbers got put up, when Netflix finally put our numbers up, they responded. Our numbers responded. Now, with that being said, the UFC might put on something on Prime and do 250 million homes. I really don't know. Right? As big as the UFC says they are, and how big they've been, and what they've done in the last 25 years, they should do more than 8 million homes that little old Mike Tyson and Jake Paul did. Their first motherfucking Prime thing better do 108 million homes, or it was all media driven. Their numbers were always inflated by their outer puff media members that are just echoing the same shit they're being told, even though it's all bullshit. And no one's checking this stuff. And they created this little world, this little bubble where everyone's like, nah, dude, this shit's huge. This shit's huge. This shit's huge. But is it? We won't know until a company goes, no, here are the numbers. Now, we know Fox said, hey, we'll buy you guys, and then said, get the fuck out of here. We know ESPN said, hey, we'll buy you guys, and then said, get the fuck out of here. They never even signed them again.
No, it was just one deal.
One and done.
Yeah.
That's not a good track record, Miguel. I'm telling you right now, when an athlete is bouncing from team to team on one-year deals, they usually don't go, man, that guy's an MVP. So, I'm glad that boxing responded. When our numbers got put out there, here it is, it's free. 300 million homes have this motherfucker. 100 showed up, Miguel. So, I'm hoping the same. The media, they created Jake Paul. I kind of helped Jake Paul created Jake Paul. But, hey, look, I didn't like him in the beginning. And I'm sorry, you guys. Part of my feelings changing for Jake was the Tommy Fury fight. The man tried, a legit boxer, and got beat up. And look, even the Chavez fight. Dude, watch the last 3 rounds, bro. When Chavez finally goes, okay, I'm going to try right now. Now I've been waiting for this moment. He starts really beating Jake. Jake's getting wobbled. Jake's getting fucking hit with left hooks. The fight totally changes. So I was very proud of even Chavez Jr.'s drug addict ass that he was able to pull that off 2 weeks out of rehab. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me change. Like, it is, to me, I'm like, I don't know if he's fixing this shit, dude. Tommy Fury had no business beating him. They had to give Tommy like $2 million. He would have fucking laid down. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I want to tell you. I'm gonna jump right now. Sorry, Miguel. Do you have anything?
Just a few more topics on this right here. But did you want to talk to a different topic or
no?
What? Okay.
Tommy had no reason beating him. To me, that was a very good indication that we were still a legit. Whatever Jake was trying to do was legit. He took a defeat, right? Now, with that being said, what I'm nervous about is Tank. Is that he's been money hungry for so long. Does Jake have enough O's to make him take that defeat? Exhibition defeat, right?
Right.
Where Tank's in and just grab the mic and go, okay, look, he was too big. And everyone's going, I know, little guy. This sucks for you, Tank, because you are going to have to admit that little men suck. And that little men can't protect their wives. He's going to have to admit that on TV. That if you get to a certain size, Miguel, you just get pushed to the ground, eh? You're nothing. Yeah. I'm trying to get some fire in him right now. Send this to him. Hey, you aren't shit. Okay? Little guy, little boy, little man.
That's why you pick on the chicks, because you can whoop their ass. No.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna get it out of him, Miguel. We're gonna get some fire out of him. Fuck that. But that's what he's gonna have to bite all of that down. You know he hates that. You know when Diddy lifted him up and hugged him, that pissed him off, Miguel. You know it.
Right.
He's got to eat that one too. He's got to swallow that. That it was right that Diddy lifted you up because you're a little man that can't beat a big man. Eat that. If he can eat that, then he's gonna get 10 million, 15 million. He never seen that money. I give a fuck what he says. He's seen one big check in his life. All the other ones have been small. They've all been how do you say it? Not bloated, inflated numbers that they put out to the media to try to look special. De La Hoya should put the jeweler guy on him. Probably half his fucking necklaces are fake too. You know what I mean? Like, just be real. You know, $5 million sellouts aren't buying $1 million necklaces. Sorry, because you have taxes, you have teams, you have baby mamas, you have life. You know what I mean? Like, miss me with the bullshit. So, did 10 million get that exhibition though?
Yeah, and there was a point in the conversation where, like, they were talking about that, even Jake had the mic and he was like, yeah, that's why you're here. Like you work for me. I'm the one's paying you here. I'm your boss. You answer to me, kind of thing, right? And he was like, oh, what? Like, it? And then he turns to like, was Floyd there? Because I keep seeing him Tank turn to the crowd, and I hear him say Floyd, unless he's talking about somebody else. And he's like, Floyd, you hear that? Like, Floyd, what was it? And I was like, well, don't we know he's paying you, fool? Like, I thought that he was the one that was footing the bill. I thought we all knew. It's like, who the fuck else is gonna, that's
Yeah,
what
no,
seems so
totally.
strange. I was like, oh, Tank, where the fuck are you, dude? Like, are you not paying attention here? Like, who told you the wrong thing, the wrong information? And they're like, no, it's not Jake that's paying you. It's Netflix, whomever the fuck. Like, no, I'm sure it's Jake, homie.
He's like, it's my dad, Al Heyman. He's like, no, bro, Al Heyman's broke, bro. As a matter of fact, I don't even know why you're talking to that guy anymore. Al Heyman's broke. He's like, what are you talking about? Al said he's paying half and you're paying half. No?
Have you seen Al's jewelry? That shit looks crazy.
Hey, and then when he goes, all right, I'm going to let him take the high road and I'm going to take the low road.
Yes.
Hey, Jake goes, I think he meant that the other way around, but whatever. Yeah. Jake was clowning. He was clowning.
Yeah. And to some degree, I almost feel like I get the impression that Jake in his mind was, it's almost, if you remember back when, I think it was Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had just beaten somebody, and then Usyk hops on the ring, and he kind of gets in his face, and Fury goes like, and he yells at him or saying like, you're next, some shit, right? And Usyk is like stone faced and stoic as shit, and I can almost imagine like inside of Fury's head was like, dude, I'm trying to hype this up. Like, hello, why are you not ready? I got the same impression from Jake Paul. He's trying to hype the fight up, right? And he's trying to say the things that what we're doing, trying to trigger, Tank to be able to get that fire out of him. And he starts throwing these like ass backwards fucking sayings, and I can almost imagine in Jake Paul's head, he's like, fuck, like this is the part that I dreaded the most, him and his fucking inability to spit out a damn sentence so he can at least talk smack back to me, and we can have this back and forth the way it was with Diaz or Tyron Woodley or fucking Anderson or anybody else, for that matter. But oh man, I could almost imagine he was hating that shit. That's why he needed to correct it, right? He needed to kind of correct Tank a couple of times and try to push those buttons, but I would imagine he wasn't really on board. He's like, fuck, like, damn it, Tank, like, you should have been doing your fucking homework, fool. Where the hell is your goddamn? Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you're not even helping this shit up. Like, the point is this press conference to build the anticipation for the fight, and you're over here like, talking all quietly into the mic, and you're like diddling with your fucking headphones or something. Like, dude, where are you? Hello, there's a camera here. Like, pay attention. Yeah, it seemed like he was just out of it. But anyway, I can imagine Jake was kind of like pissed off as hell inside, at least. Like, dude, come on, say something already.
Yeah, no doubt. Alicia, at least she threw a little racism in there at the very end. Did you see the very end? No. Day 2. So her opponent said something about beating her. And Alicia responded with, I'm going to whoop your ass with a little bit of spice or seasoning. Yeah, I'm going to season. She goes, I'm going to season her ass real good, something like that. And everyone went, ooh. And Jake said, well, the white people were like, what does that mean? And she's like, seasoning. Yeah, I don't season. We just season everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to McCormick that bitch. Be like, what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? I'm gonna tahini that fucking motherfucker. Like, what is this tajinga?
So yeah, finally someone went there. So he knew it was eventually gonna happen, but no, it's all good.
Did you catch the glove thing? Apparently, I read this, and I don't remember seeing this. And again, I kind of try to catch both of them, so I might have missed some spots. But I read, at least on Facebook, that Jake Paul and Gervonta agreed on 10-ounce gloves as opposed to 12-ounce gloves, because that was what I heard initially. From what from what I saw here, it says Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis have agreed to change the gloves for their November fight from 12 ounces to 10 ounces. For those that don't know, this means more potential of a knockout. But anyway, So I mean I don't remember, and there's like a what I looks to be maybe in like an AI generated image of them wearing gloves, but I'm like, this looks pretty fucking real. Like this happened in the damn press conference, because I fast forwarded, I was looking for the spot where they were putting on gloves, and it looks totally legit. I mean, I could be wrong here, but it just looks like that, and I was like,
Yeah.
hold on. It looks good, and I'm like, is this AI? Like, I don't remember them doing this. Maybe I missed it. Oh, great! And just as I do that, my damn microphone, I mean, my camera goes off. But anyway, so
On
yeah,
who does it benefit more? The
right.
10-ounce gloves.
I would have to assume Tank. He's the power hitter, right? He's the
Yeah.
power puncher.
Yep.
For what's his name, for Jake to agree to that, it's like, oh shit, dude, do you realize what you're doing here? You're agreeing to smaller gloves. Could potentially be, you can feel the knuckles a
On
little
that
more when there's
chin,
less
boy.
padding. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally thought that benefited Tank. I didn't know why Jake would even go that route, Especially because I felt like he got wiggled a few times in his last fight.
hmm And have you heard anything? Because I'm tripping. I saw this on Facebook somewhere, and I'm like, oh, what? But then I don't remember hearing it on the press conference, and I'm like, is this fake news? Did anybody else report this? I don't remember if anyone else reported
I
the
don't
change of the glove size.
I don't know about that. But we have to look at the power, right? I like the
Mhm.
record 31-0-27. Anderson Silva, did he have a real knockout punch as far as a boxer? I'm not talking, you know what I'm saying, punching.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. I should say.
Because I
I
remember elbows and knees.
Yes. His kicks were awesome. The knees were off the hook. I don't remember him ever really having like knockout, or at least like one punch knockout power kind of thing. He would hurt guys, of course, but it was always everything. It was always kicks, it was always elbows, something like that. He would finish you with the hands, of course, and every so often he'd hurt you with the hands, but he never was the kind of guy that would go in there and be like, damn, he's got dynamite in his hands. Like, no, he's got
Then
dynamite in
he,
his fucking elbows and everything else.
then he fought Worley, was more
Oh,
of a
Woodley.
wrestler.
Woodley, yeah.
Woodley.
Yeah.
Then he fought the other white guy from the UFC. I can't think of his last name. He ended up having that heart condition.
Oh, yes. Ben Askren. Yeah.
Askren, yes. More of a wrestler. That's what they described him as.
Mhm.
Fought an ex-basketball player we know damn well can't punch like Tank, right? He didn't fight. Did he fight Nate already?
Yeah, he did. He did.
He did
Yeah.
fight Nate,
Yeah. He dropped Nate too.
but Nate's not a knockout
No,
puncher.
he's a volume guy.
So where I'm going with this is, has he really even been hit on the chin by anybody that's got the potential, the not even potential, the power of Gervonta, no matter what weight division? Gervonta has the accuracy
Mhm.
and the power to put people out with one punch.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's been some talk about that Tyson fight, right? Tyson most definitely had the power to do that, but he didn't connect the way we thought
Not
he
at
was gonna
60.
connect. Uh,
Not at
but
60.
even okay,
I
yeah,
can
probably not.
guarantee you Mike Tyson does not throw an axe, hit an axe. He doesn't do anything at 60 like he used to do 20 years ago. Nothing. Bro, I tell you a story about my grandpa. My grandpa in the shotgun.
Okay. No, yeah, I don't think you've told me that one. No, no.
My grandpa one time, he said he was throwing some stuff out in the garage. I can go look at it if I wanted to. I went out there and looked at it. There's a fucking shotgun. Beautiful Remington shotgun pump
Mm.
sitting in the middle. I think that's what he was probably,
Oh,
the long rider BB gun instead. He's
yeah.
giving me a shotgun instead. I go out there. I'm like, what the hell? I pull the shotgun out. Ta ta. Click. I'm like, this works. What is going on? I went in the house. I said, Grandpa, why is that Remington in there? He goes, it's broken. I said, it's not broken. I just cocked it right now.
Mm.
He goes, no, you didn't. It's broken. He grabs the gun from me. He was too weak, Miguel. That was the first time I noticed my grandpa's power was going. He couldn't cock the gun anymore.
Damn.
He said, you try it, right? Click. He goes, let me see that again. Sucks, Miguel. We don't know when it happens. It just happens, Mike doesn't know when it happened, but I'm guarantee you his punch is not the same. It's not
Well,
Iron Mike in there.
it most definitely no, it definitely wasn't Iron Mike, but whatever power he had left, I mean, we've seen the clips where he threw like the 1-2 and he kind
They
of
were
stopped halfway.
lying. They were lying, bro. You
Well,
seen
well,
that man couldn't walk into a
I
fucking ring, Miguel.
but he can throw a 1-2, maybe once every other round, but he can throw the 1-2. I'm not saying he's gonna be able to move around and peekaboo the way he used to, but I can guarantee you he can pop a fucking punching bag. The few clips that we have seen of him, like 4 or 5 seconds hitting the bag, he could still do that. I mean, granted, he wouldn't be able to do it as long
That
as
was the
before,
four.
but he can still throw the shots.
That was the 4 or 5 seconds for that entire day. After that combo, they all went home. I'm guarantee you that, bro. He's damn there. He is. We got to stop with Mike.
Yeah,
we got to stop. Floyd needs to stop. Everyone needs to stop. That man. No way. There's no way his punch is the same. I got to think that if Gervonta can land, if he can get on the inside and land, Jake. What if Jake ever pissed his pants? Hit him in the body hard enough. Better not drink too much water in that corner. I don't want to say the other one. I don't want to say what they said Hopkins did to De La Hoya.
No. It comes out a different color. It comes out a different color, yo.
Yeah. No, but they said Oscar shit his pants when Hopkins hit him.
Oh, no. Oh, what the hell? That I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that.
It was a taxi cab. It was a taxi cab driver. I don't know if I can believe him.
Oh.
It was. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. They got the best information, eh? You know, one time I was in Taxi Cab Confessions.
Oh, no shit. That HBO show?
Yep.
Oh, shit. What did you confess?
In Vegas.
What did you confess?
My brother recognized her. He was like, "You're the Taxi Cab Confession girl." She's like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "Ah." But they didn't have the cameras up. But they were all there. They were all mounted. The mounting things are all still there, but they weren't doing it at that time. But yeah, they had the best info, dude.
You know what's funny? Like when we talk about the fight, what we think, or at least a lot of fans thinking of Jake Paul's fights being rigged and fixed and everything. So let's go that route. Let's say it's not fixed; it's legitimate. Who would suffer worse from the NPL? Like, are we? You mentioned it earlier. Would the payday in this exhibition be enough for Gervonta to be like, yeah, I'll take the L. It doesn't mean anything. By all means, I'll take 10, 15 million or whatever, or 40 million supposedly is what we've read online. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But do you think it would be the one that's more okay with losing this exhibition because of the payday?
Because I'm going to say yes. In this day and age, I don't know, man. Ryan Garcia looks to be harder today than when he quit on his knee against Tank, right? It's like, what have you done lately? Kind of is to the extreme right now. Like, we don't give a shit. You can quit one fight, you win the next, and now all of a sudden you're the man again. So maybe he has that mentality. Like, look, it's an exhibition, dude. We're going to go with decision. Maybe I rock you at the end, right? We'll say the clock saved Jake Paul. Stuff like Saved by the Bell kind of deal at the end. Everyone would be like, oh, you would have had him if it was 10, 12 rounds. Because it's only 10, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's part of it. It's gonna
if
be 10.
he hurts him at the end, I'm fucking with them a little. I'm hopefully we're getting right into their playbook. They're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
but it's a great ending, right? If you can get him to get saved by the bell, right?
What do you think of that? It's going to be 10 rounds now. I think some of his previous fights, like the one with Tyson, and I think I'm not remember if the Chavez was 8 rounds or not, but Anderson Silva, I think that was also an 8-rounder. If I'm not mistaken, I have to fact check that. But what do you make of that? Like, it's going to be 10 full rounds, all right? That's like a non-title fight, but and I've heard this saying a lot in boxing. It takes a lot for a fighter to get to a 10 round, to be a 10-round boxer. Damn, I'm not sure if that seems like a risk for Jake, considering how many of his fights before this were 8 rounds, and how obviously the experience was a major factor. But damn, he agreed to 10 rounds. That's kind of a bit, huh?
Yes. Hey, look, dude, if he's legit, a lot of what Jake Paul has done is he's been trying to prove himself, right? If the fight's legit, it's not all fucking scripted. But 10 rounds, maybe I'm giving boxers too much credit, but I gotta say he's still stepping in the ring for 30 minutes with a professional knockout artist. You know, a dude that's been doing it since he was 7, I think he said, 7 years of
Right.
age. Gervonta knows where to land on that sweet shot, that sweet punch. You know, that sweet area on the chin. Sweet music, is that what they call it?
The button hits him right on the button.
If he can get there, I'm going to love to see what it does to Jake Paul's legs. Jake has never felt a punch like this. No sparring can prepare you for the champ, right? And
Mhm.
Gervonta's the champ, man, especially in Jake's world, who he ain't really seen shit. He ain't got no amateur experience. He can't be like, man, I fought Sean
Right.
Porter when I was young. I fought Usyk in the Olympics. Blah, blah, blah. You know, these guys have all these stories of
Right.
fighting each other. You know what I mean? He's got none of this. This dude has none of this. And I'm sorry, bro. The MMA, you guys, is not boxing. So I don't fucking put any respect on Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva and the white guy. What's his name?
Ben
Arslan.
Askren. Ben
Ben
Askren. Yeah.
Askren.
Yeah.
I don't give him any clout for beating these guys. These guys were old, over the hill, and their fucking striking skills were subpar at best. At
Yeah.
best.
And that was deliberate. He deliberately chose the guys who had shitty, because you have to understand something. When it comes to mixed martial arts, it's a lot of grappling, right? So
Of
there's going to be a
course.
lot of guys who are going to come in who came from primarily grappling backgrounds and then picked up the striking later on, right? Every so often it happens the other way around, but by and large, that's how it is. So their striking is always going to be light years behind, a boxer who will do it nothing but that the entire time. Yeah, that's just how it is. So we understand it was deliberate, but yeah, we can't put that much credibility behind the Nate Diaz and the Tyron Willies. Of course not.
Tommy Fury. I mean, when you watch this dude's
Even
tape,
Tommy, who has, I don't know how much, he doesn't. I know he doesn't have like an extensive amateur background, right? I don't believe so. Like I remember
no,
him
look
being
at him.
some fucking
Look
model
at the
or
way
something.
he throws punches. You know, I watched that dude's highlights before the Jake Paul fight, and it was like, oh man, this guy can't even. How the fuck is Tyson Fury's brother? His dad's a fucking bare knuckles champ, and the little brother can't throw a punch. It like made no sense, dude. So I think Jake was standing across the ring and not really fearing that guy either. Maybe a little because size, but when you watch his videos, come on, these are joke windmill shots. Tank, he better be careful, man.
I think that's the thing. I have to assume he's gonna. You can't. There is no way. Even in the sparring, you go in there with a guy like Tank, you're gonna get cracked.
You're gonna
Period.
get cracked.
He's gonna. I like, and you said it earlier. Like, well, if Tank can get to him, he has to get to him. How you even though it's a fucking boxer. I mean, a taller guy, but we're talking about a professional boxer here who's a trained, fucking accurate punches and pop and everything.
But Miguel, Jake is gonna jab, right hand, grapple. Jab, right hand, grapple. They're gonna tell this young man, stay off the ropes. You're gonna circle. You're gonna move. You're gonna move. The first few rounds, do not look for Paul to be exchanging or trying to break Gervonta down. If he's staying on the outside, and he's going to be trying to work those heavy punches onto him, trying to beat him down that way. That's the only way. That's the only fight plan I see. You're going to let this fucking pit bull next to you? You're going to go on the ropes and go head to head? No, he's not any of that. He's going to be hugging the shit. Look for him to be hugging and hugging and hugging a little bit more. Don't be surprised if they even fall down because his ass is putting so much weight on Gervonta. And Gervonta should do that. Gervonta, if he keeps hugging you, go down to a knee and hopefully he lands on the top of your head. I'm being fucking real right now. You know what I mean? Wake him up with that. Like, come on, let's fight. We're fighting here. So if he's staying on top, maybe Gervonta can fall down, but don't be surprised if they don't fall down because he's leaning so much on him and Gervonta gives out. And I don't mean by being tired. I mean by being frustrated. Like, what is this bullshit, right? Yeah. Are we fighting here or are we just fucking, you're just going to be on the outside and then hold me every time I get close? That's all Jake Paul's, that should be his only game plan. Now, I pray that he tries to throw a combo on the inside against Tank and Tank gets his chance to counter because then it's going to be, yes, then all of that punching plays effect, man. It only takes one. We've
Mhm.
seen from Tank against the very fucking best in the world. Jake, you listen to me. Don't listen to me. No, don't listen to me. You're going to pull out.
Don't heed this warning, Jake. Just go in there
Yeah.
reckless as fuck. Go in there reckless as fuck. Think you're in there with fucking Woodley and just throw punches, fool. Just you throw. It don't matter. Keep your chin in the air, please, while you're at it. Might as well.
Stay
Um,
high. Stay high.
yeah, exactly. Don't box tall. Um, did you catch when I think Jake was saying something and it sounded really good. It sounded like it was coming off the cuff and everything. And Gervonta was kind of accusing him. Was like, dude, are you reading that off of somewhere? He's like accusing him. Is reading off of cue cards or some shit. And I again, if that's what they are, I would imagine Jake Paul's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm like, where are your cue cards, motherfucker? Like, you should be doing the same thing. I came prepared, damn ass. You should probably come prepared next time too, fool.
Yeah, impossible. That was when he was saying he manifested the knockout or some shit. He was like going through his little dream that he had.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I hope that don't bite him in the ass. He manifested the wrong knockout. You know what I'm saying? Like someone got knocked out, all right. That could follow him for a long time. You know what I mean? If he got that dream wrong. But overall, I think I believe from this second day, they've sold this fight. We had a little shoving match. Alicia kind of picked it up with her comments. She was being a lot more vocal today.
Were they in day one? I don't remember them being in day
I don't
one.
think they were.
Okay,
I don't
because
think
it
they
was
were.
like the co-main event is a title fight, and they're. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you heard, but they're going to do 12 3-minute rounds. The women.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think there was the WBC did.
Oh yeah.
Fight.
Hey, why
God.
was I Beavis and Butthead when Alicia said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do 3 minutes, the extra round. I'm gonna eat it"? Why did I go? Ha, ha? I said, so it can't be media. You're like, Andrew, what's wrong? Like nothing. I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit.
Like, you're like listening to her shit. Like oh, she's over here talking about adding some seasoning and then eating. It's like, homegirl, what's going on over here? Are you trying to tell us something? What the fuck?
Yeah. Beavis and Butthead. I grew up on that, I guess. She said,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah. Like, hey, baby. we want to wrestle. Oh, I miss those days. But that leads me to the next part. All right, so I don't know if you guys did see, but Alexander Usyk decided to clap back. That's my Oscar impersonation at Jake Paul, because Jake Paul had a plan, right? He's like, I want to do this. I'm going to fight this guy, da 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 da. And apparently, somewhere in fifth place, Alexander Usyk was there. So Usyk decided to clap back through Twitter, and this is what he tweeted here through, I'm assuming, the translator. Good plan, and then he tags Jake Paul. But I'm not here for fifth place. Oh shit! Only first. Soon I'll close the book on boxing, and after that I'll be waiting for you in the cage. Let's see if you've got the balls or just hunger for hype. Damn, okay. I don't know. We definitely don't see this kind of reaction or this kind of emotion, I guess, out of Usyk, and to the point where he like talks as vulgar as he did. That did kind of throw me off when I read this. I was like, okay, hold on. Is this really Usyk here? On top of the fact that he says, pretty soon I'll close the book on boxing, meaning he's going to be retiring soon, which you kind of already knew. And then it says, I'll be waiting for you in the cage. Yeah, like the cage you see behind me kind of cage. What the hell was that about? And we know that Usyk has training in wrestling, Olympic wrestling. In fact, a lot of boxers do, quite frankly, because that helps them get out of the clinch, right? That's how it is. And that's what he talked about. I think it was on the podcast with Steve Kim and Mario Lopez. He mentioned it. So, where it's understood that he has some sort of grappling experience. But it was weird. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to do it in the ring where you're better at, like, the cage? What the fuck was that about? Kind of threw me off there a little bit when I read that, but I'm like, all right. This is did you hear about this, man? This is kind of weird, huh? Like that he went this route against Jake.
It is. It's a good opponent to call out for your first cage match. He's going the Jake Paul route, right? He's calling out a guy that doesn't even fight in the cage. That's awesome. So, it's a good start. How old isn't Usyk? Like 38 though.
I'm almost certain he is. I'm about to double check right now.
Yeah, he needs to hurry up. This transition that he's talking about, he should do it sooner than later. Because really, I mean, he's in with the right guy, Miguel. He's got the money already behind him. Like, who's the African young man that's fighting for Turkey? Got knocked out by AJ.
Um,
EFL.
yeah, Ngannou.
Ngannou. Thank
Yeah.
you. If they're gonna do that matchup, right? And Turkey and the Prince want to actually see the fight, well, then they already have the money. They don't need to sell tickets. They don't need, you know what I mean? The money's already guaranteed. He just needs an opponent. So do it sooner than later. Don't. Who's he scheduled to fight here next?
Usyk?
Usyk? Yeah.
I think he's waiting for somebody. There's gonna be.
It was supposed to be Parker, right? And he said no to
Yeah.
Parker.
Yeah, and I think Parker might be fighting someone else, and then the winner of that, I think, gets him, if I'm not
Has
mistaken.
to fight him.
Yeah.
Either way, the opponents are not headliners anymore, right? Like he's already went through it all, right? We're basically praying that Deontay Wilder has some kind of resurrection in his career, that they can do something there. He's already fought in Dubois twice,
Twice,
right? So he's already done that one. He's
AJ
fought Tyson twice, AJ
Bryson.
twice. Like, bro, let's do it sooner than later. Let's go ahead, and if we're really making that transition, because Miguel, I don't want him to go on undefeated the next 2 years because the opposition's really weak. Then the MMA gets a 41-year-old guy who's not really training like he used to train back in the day, right? Because of age and just the fire's not as high. Then they beat him, and I told you. Let's do it. Let's do it sooner than later. Is all my advice to Usyk. If you're really going to put it on the line, because you're undefeated, man. You're putting a lot on the line when you do that crossover. And make a valiant effort. And I hope he takes Lomachenko with them. Lomachenko and Usyk should both do the crossover fight. Just one time for Lomachenko. I'm not asking for a career, but yeah, he always wanted to do it. Dana never allowed him. So Usyk should bring him to Turkey.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So Usyk is 38. Yeah. So and he turns he'll be 39 in January. So we're a few months away from that.
See?
Yep. Time's running out pretty quickly.
Yep.
So someone else that's on the list of one Jake Paul is Anthony Joshua. Apparently, there is some sort of understanding between the two that they're going to be facing in 2026. According to this post here, Nakisa Bedarian, who's the guy, that's who I was trying to remember earlier, the guy who was on the podium during, he's I guess one of the main dudes at MVP, confirmed that there was an agreement in principle for them to meet next year with a bout likely to be in America. So it sounds as though we're going to get AJ and Jake Paul in 2026, and most likely here in the U.S. I'm not sure why it would be here. I figured maybe they'll do it, in Miami again, because it seems to be the place that allows them to do it. But considering how much money they can probably make over there in the UK, fill out a stadium over there, maybe not fill out a stadium, but it'll be pretty fucking, pretty packed. I would think it'd be a better idea to go over there. But regardless, it seems as though this is on the game plan. This is kind of why I was asking that question earlier. Like, would a loss hurt Jake Paul here? Like he's got it would have lost to Gervonta Tank Davis to be like, fuck, I was going so good. I had these guys racked up, and now that kind of went away because I lost to Gervonta over here, the smaller guy. But yeah. Anyway, but that was part of my question earlier.
I don't think he would fight Anthony Joshua even if he knocked out Gervonta Davis.
Oh, really?
I'm still on that. You don't go from calling out a 135-pound champion to the former heavyweight champ who's not that far out of his prime, right? Anthony Joshua will break your fucking jaw, dog. Like that's the ambulance needs to be on the side of the ring type fight, right? We're not playing around. He ain't got those balls. This dude did not got those type of balls, and the Gervonta Davis doesn't get. He's doing that because he sees the dude's followed by 2 million people. And that's another 2 million people that he's reaching. Anthony Joshua is global, man. That dude is everywhere. He's got big crowds around him. That's all he's tapping into right there. I wouldn't even be surprised if he told Joshua, I'll give you a private plane to the fight. I'll have a suitcase full of money for you. Let me just use your name a little. And Joshua said, fine. You bring all that. Go ahead and give him the bullshit. That's all. No way we're going lightweight to fucking heavyweight. There's no way. I'm betting the house. Take my deed. It's going to Vegas. No, I'm just kidding. I'm watching a TV show. No, I'm watching a TV show on horse racing too. It's hella funny. My wife found it. Man, I want the name. No, it's not that one. I want the name of the show now. But it's about horse racing. Miguel, why these kids always bet their fucking life on these horses, bro? I'm like, what is wrong with these kids, man? Dude, the farm got bet on a horse race and a club. I don't know what the hell's going on. So now I'm over here. Now I'm like, I'll bet the house on AJ. It's the fucking TV show, bro. It's not me.
I'll bet the PS5. Yo, no.
Oh, yeah. I could get him a PS5. Yay, there you go. There you go, Miguel. That'll be the ticket to get it.
Okay.
I already got it this year. Raleigh Romero plus 800. And what was the last one we just did? The big one. Oh, Crawford. Crawford was only 135. That ain't shit. It was Raleigh Romero, dude.
Yeah, that one was a big one. Fuck yeah.
Oh, the decision was a lot. The decision would have been like 600 plus 600, right? For Canelo.
For Canelo,
for Crawford. If you would have just said Crawford by decision, then it went up. Yeah. Fuck. But the Raleigh Romero one, that was plus 800. They should already have the PS5, poor kids.
Hey, who would have thought? Who would have thought that Ryan Garcia would go in there and lay a fucking egg? Which is a magnificent segue because the next story is about one Ryan Garcia that apparently every time I say that I think about that little kid who says apparently. If you ever seen him, the one that went viral, like apparently I've never been on live TV before, but. It turns out that one Ryan Garcia decided to give us a little teaser recently by saying that he's going to be making a fight announcement real soon. Whatever the hell that means, that pretty much doesn't mean shit, quite frankly, if we don't know exactly when or as far as, who else. I don't think that it's going to be against Raleigh Romero. We did talk about it last week, I believe. It looks as though Raleigh is kind of the leading candidate for a possible Manny Pacquiao fight or being the opponent for Manny Pacquiao later in December. So, if I'm Raleigh Romero, I feel like the pretty girl at the dance, right? Everybody's trying to I'm over here, fucking Manny wants me and Ryan wants me and stuff like that. So, obviously you can take your pick of the litter and get the biggest payday. I don't think Ryan is in that fortunate circumstance, but he came out recently and said, hey, there's going to be a fight announcement here real soon. As a matter of fact, if you go to the DAZN Instagram account, you see him there doing the fucking the thing, right? He's hitting the speed bag or the double-ended bag, and he's doing some stuff. He's trying to look fast. Clearly his hand is healing well, and he's going to be back in action at some point. I'm not sure if that'll be before the end. According to this, it doesn't specify when he'll be back or when he intends to make the announcement, other than he'll be fighting soon and the announcement will come shortly. So I don't know, seems like maybe he's a little he's missing the spotlight a little bit, and it's like, all right, let me go and throw my name back out there. Like, hey, yo, I'll be fighting soon. Anybody interested?
Yes. Ryan's got to be real careful in the next fight that he accepts. If I'm Golden Boy, I'd be throwing him to the wolves, with this being one and done with him. He's got to watch out for that Oscar and Bernard don't put him in something big.
Oh, that's right. He said, fight. Is that what he said? Because I know that he said that he has that
this is his last fight with Golden Boy. He's got one more fight with him. Wow. And yeah, they're really, is it going to be a comeback fight or is it going to be a stick it to him fight? Because Ryan has the popularity to just give him a stick it to him fight, right? Like, fuck it. Teofimo Lopez is the one. I know he's already in a fight, but I'm just saying, grab a name, insert it. It sells, right? There's no reason for a build up. If it's a comeback fight, I'm not really interested. Sorry. I mean, this kid's not even a champ, dude. How many B average fighters can you beat, dog? We already know you got by that level. You know what I'm saying? You've made a whole career beating B level guys. So I'm not really interested in a comeback fight. I'll watch it for free on Netflix on this, but No, I won't be purchasing DAZN. I won't be purchasing a Golden Boy pay-per-view. I don't know if they're doing those still, but if they do, I'm not purchasing that to watch him fight fucking who was the cat that he fought from Mexico when he did his first comeback? Damn it.
Um,
Mm,
yeah, I'm trying to remember who it
I
was.
know. Damn it. But
Oh,
you know,
yeah, Oscar Duarte. No,
Duarte. There you
Duarte.
Good
That's right.
job,
Yeah.
Miguel. Yes, Duarte. Not looking to spend no pay-per-view money on Duarte again.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no. Well, so which one are you leaning towards? Do you think it's going to be? I mean, you mentioned if it's one or the other, if it's a comeback fight or if it's a stick it to him fight. Which one do you think is more likely?
Ryan's gonna hold out for a showcase fight and then leave Oscar.
Hmm.
I don't think Ron. I think Ryan already has a future. Been told to him by His Excellency. Been told to him by El Heyman. He has options, right? He has all these options. He wants no money to be generated for De La Hoya, and he's gonna bite the bullet on this one. Take a small fight, get a small payday, and leave him. Um, Also because I couldn't trust him. I
Hmm.
couldn't trust anything about De La Hoya. His last fight with Ryan Garcia, if I'm Team Garcia, not the judges, not the sparring partners. They might be giving up information to Oscar. Oscar's would give.
Yeah,
I'm trusting
there might be
nothing.
a couple of moles in there.
Exactly, trusting nothing because they're not ending on good terms.
Hmm. Yeah, that's very true. Do you think we'll see him in the ring before the end of the year? With this little announcement, I'm sure he's going to be announcing it very soon that he'll have a fight coming up. But we are talking about already, maybe let's say next week he announces that we're talking the end of September. Do you think that's enough time to get prepared and everything for some sort of end of the year fight?
If it's a showcase, they could do it for the end of the year. If it's not a showcase and they're going to go something heavy for his first fight out, then no, it'll be the beginning of 2026
Mhm.
because he sells tickets. We'll all wait. If it's a good opponent, everyone will be juiced for January, February, whenever they do that fight.
And what's funny that you mentioned about like the options that Ryan has, possibly even L, because didn't he wasn't he training with Derek James recently or something like that, which is
Yes, of
was close
course,
to like
of course.
Spence and everything, and those are all PBC guys. So it seems as though that might be maybe that's where he's going next. Huh? I mean, maybe it's where you heard it first here, y'all. Maybe he might hop over to PBC if they have the funds to sign
They
somebody like that.
own they own two of the belts, Miguel, and some pretty good opposition. Raleigh Romero, he already has history with.
Hmm.
Mario Barrios owns the WBC. You got Manny floating around there. Like he has a future with L. He has a few fights. Um, so yeah. And we just gotta see what he's gonna do with this last fight with Golden Boy. What they actually them three can agree upon on. I think Bernard is in the conversation. I don't know. Bernard seems like he probably just involved when he flies in. I don't know if Bernard does too much.
Yeah, that's true because I don't see him. I mean, we do see him obviously regularly, but it's just like he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy. Like I see Bernard interviews, and I see people come up to him and they ask him stuff, right? But by and large, if Oscar is next to him, they're going to go see Oscar. They're going to they want the questions from Oscar. They're going to ask the questions to Oscar. So yeah, I don't know what exactly. Bernard, like what his role is specifically, or where exactly he contributes to Golden Boy Promotions, because every so often when I see him, he's just kind of nicely dressed, kind of off in the corner, and be like, all right, I'm enjoying the fights, just kind of here.
Right. And then they said when he first started, he was supposed to be Golden Boy East Coast, and I believe he's the one that brought Schofield in. I think Schofield is his guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But besides Schofield, the East Coast hasn't really delivered anything for Golden Boy. You know what I mean? We haven't seen shit. And so his talent, his eye for talent might not be there.
Yeah, not the best scout, I guess. Really.
Sorry, Bernard.
Yeah, sorry, just you do what you got to do, Bernard, but not exactly the best there. But yeah, so we're gonna
He's
be
all
hearing
just,
from Reiner.
you
Huh?
think he just punks Oscar at Golden Boy? Oscar's like, hey, Bernard, can we talk about like what you've done for the company? Shut up. Shut your mouth. You're gonna pay me my money. All right, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Just walks out. Because he's done nothing else, bro. There's nothing really coming. He doesn't sell tickets. There's no one going. Even when they do the announcement, do they even say Bernard Hopkins' name in the crowd?
Yeah, I don't think
right?
so. I certainly don't remember them announcing him
He's
for
a
shit.
former middleweight champ, Miguel.
Yeah, like he'll be in the ring. No one gives two fucks about him. Yeah, he'd be like, hey, Oscar, remember who made you shit your pants? All right.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that
You
fucking
want to
taxi
take
cab, that taxi cab driver made that up. That's not true. Do you smell that thing at the ring, Bernard?
a
Ah, don't forget that, Oscar.
That's how rumors get started. I swear he told me that though. I didn't believe the fucking guy either, but I swear that was told to me on the cab ride to the airport. Eh?
Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair experiences of spilling too much to the cab drivers. Where like my brother-in-law is like, I'm like, don't shut up, don't stop talking. Like, oh shit, my bad. I just too many beers. I'm always just sharing information because loose lips. Oh my. Um, All right. Well, I guess leading here to this one of these last stories of our show here today. Turns out we might get. We talked about him earlier when we were talking about Jake Paul. Chavez Jr. might be making a return here before the end of the year. Yeah, it's a slow news week. So I saw I saw this recently. It was on some sort of. I think it's a Facebook account called Chavez Mania. So this is actually Chavez Senior posting this, as I understand it. It's a picture of him and his son, of course, and he's saying this is in Spanish. He says, "My son is going to be fighting both Julio and Omar." So it looks like both of them are going to be on the same card. They'll be fighting in San Luis Potosi, Potosi, which is in Mexico, on the 13th of December. And it says, and if they're in good health and in shape, maybe I will get in there for an exhibition fight there as well. I'm not sure what the hell that is for, but Andrew, you sure as hell had your your theories, which you mentioned. I brought up to you before we started recording. And like, damn it, we should have waited till we started recording so you can get my genuine reaction to the shit. But turns out we're gonna get Chavez Jr., Omar, and Senior possibly on the same card as we did before. So when I read this, I'm like, please God, no, please God, no. But when I told you about it, you had different ideas. So why don't you share those ideas with us, Andrew?
Well, I got to give him credit. It's better than a GoFundMe page for his lawyer fees, right?
Mm-hmm.
His dad was like, let me just go ahead and set up a fight, bringing my ass out of retirement. So the only thing I could think of, Miguel, is that his son needs help, maybe financially, and Chavez is going to set this up to help him out. A little nervous Chavez is coming out in public this fast.
Hmm.
When you're linked to cartels, the cartel they're linked to has lost a lot of power. It's not like they're thriving right now, right? El Chapo, right? I don't know. You're indicted for torture, right? The drug smuggling, all these things. You really want them out in public? You really want to we know, here's the guy, here's the bad guy. And the other cartels are supposed to just be cool with this? Like he's just roaming the street, beat up our dude, fucking probably snitched on a few names. That's why his ass is on the street again. Be very careful to the Chavez family, Be very careful. I know they're powerful, but there's a power shift happening out there. That's why this war has been going on, right? So yeah, it's a little nervous for Chavez, but I feel bad for the dad. The dad shouldn't have to be fighting right now for his son, and he is. So,
and do you think that that's the reason I mean, because I guess maybe to bring more publicity to this, but wouldn't this be enough? Like, wouldn't Chavez coming out and like, all right, Chavez is back, right? And the younger brother, wouldn't that be enough? I mean, I wouldn't have thought that Senior would have to be like, fuck, all right, let me go ahead and put in my name in there, and let's all be on the same card. It just seems like I would have thought that the Junior and Omar would be enough.
No, Junior's lost too much. Junior was getting booed when he was in his prime in Mexico, from what I was told. I wasn't there, but I was told he used to go to clubs and he would get booed by people out there, right? Fans.
Damn.
So he was never really loved like his dad, right? And when you add the fucking arrest, were not light charges at all. That makes people feel a certain way about you, right? Then you add the loss to Jake Paul, the loss to Anderson fucking Silva. Couldn't even beat a fucking MMA guy for us. And I think a lot of people have written him off, or they're like, no, dude, we won't even air this shit unless your name is on it. You know what I mean? Where his dad to me is like Ali, man. I see his dad's fucking birthdays are celebrated on live television. Like
Mhm.
every fight that's ever put on in Mexico, they have to talk to Chavez before the fight. You know what I mean? Like he's Ali to them.
Yeah.
So that's probably the only way they got this thing to be sold.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that because I mean, like when when you talk about like him being just out and about like that, it seems like they're just not being very cautious. You know, I mean, like
No.
you're kind of. I mean, you've sent me some videos of people getting whacked, right? So it's like, yo, you can't just be out there like after this happened. I'm almost certain he had to have snitched on somebody, right? The people who he snitched on, I'm sure they're gonna have connections on the outside, and I'm sure him just being out and about, he's a fucking target. Yeah, that was weird. And I thought he was going to go into some sort of protection, witness protection or something along those lines. I mean, obviously, he's not going to be able to change his identity. We know who the fuck he is, right? Because of how popular he is and how much you see him on TV. But would have thought he'd be a little more careful, keeping it kind of
It
low
has to be
key.
it has to be money, Miguel.
Yeah.
Without them doing, I don't know what Jake Paul's paying him. I don't know what his financial situation is, but we know that he's going to be in a big case here soon, right? Even though the judge might have already said he's going to sentence him to probation or whatever, he still has a trial. That's what I sent it to you. It said he's still going to have a trial.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to have some kind of lawyer fees connected. He doesn't want to just go with the public defender. And what if they totally drop the ball where the judge and them go, we're not even cutting a deal anymore. You guys are fucking totally blowing this right now. You know what I mean? So there has to be some kind of lawyer fees. I gotta say it's the situation in his personal life that's making this fight happen and making them risk his life really and trying to bring him out and do this. But it is Mexico, so who fucking knows? I don't. Maybe that area is all El Chapo's area. They're not worried about shit. You know what I mean? There is no
Mm.
other cartel in the city. You know what I mean? I don't know. But when there's a power change happening, you're a celebrity that has ties to that former cartel powerhouse. That's a good statement to put out there. You can level that guy on national television, right? And I don't even mean national. I'm just saying on their
Yeah.
live television, right?
Right.
And that's really not a way to talk because of what happened in America recently with Charlie Kirk. It's not a way to talk, but that's what they do,
That's
right?
how, that's how they think. That's how they think.
It's the statement they would want to
Right.
make, right?
Hmm.
That's all I mean by that. That's the only thing that I mean by that. So it's something that I'm not looking forward to. Hopefully everyone gets out of there safe and Chavez just goes and handles his fucking whatever he has to do, right? Chavez Sr. has suffered enough. Hopefully that this is over for them soon.
Let's hope. I pulled it up here real quick, and this is what AI told me. Chavez Jr. his fight purse with against Jake Paul, he received a disclosed purse of $750,000.
Oh, wow.
750K is according to what AI generated here. So, and then there was some sort of pay-per-view. So I don't know if that was like the guarantee or the whatever the case may be, because it says these are guarantees base amounts. Never mind, there's my answer. And both fighters are expected to have, or were expected to have earned significantly more from the pay-per-view sales, sponsorships, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, that sounds like he might have gone close to a fucking cool mill. I mean, I would say 250K away from a mill, depending on what sponsors or pay-per-view purchases and stuff like that. I wouldn't think you needed to have his pops come out here and fucking do that, but maybe it costs more than that. I mean, again, we've seen this guy get robbed by fucking hookers. That you can see those videos that are online. So maybe he's just not very responsible, I guess, with his funds. So for all we know, this money's fucking gone already on whatever lawyers he needed to get himself out of fucking jail to begin with, or get released before
Just
his
previous debt.
yeah, that too.
750,000 ain't a lot of money when you're doing taxes, when you got to pay off the team, and then whatever debt that you already have.
True.
No, actually, Miguel, I thought they got paid a lot more. That's kind of sad that he only got 750,000. I thought he at least made $1 million, if not more, off of that fight, just because of how much money it seems like is involved in the Jake Paul fights. Like, during this press conference with Tank, one of the people said you guys are getting guaranteed 50 million from Netflix. I don't know if you had heard that.
Yeah. When they're
Yeah.
making the bet, when they're trying to make the bet, yeah.
So that was kind of an indication of what they're making, right? That guy's
Mm.
hopefully not just talking out of his ass, but so they're getting a guaranteed purse of 50 million. How the fuck does two different fighters? Maybe Tank brought up the money a lot more, but I just thought Chavez make more than 750,000. That's money that can be gone in a few weeks, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, especially if it's already owed, you know?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm. Yes.
if he's, barely coming out of fucking rehab, he's already going to be in the red, I'm sure. And part of this goes immediately to that to cover those fucking debts. And whatever's left over is, hookers and blow, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all we got. We didn't really have too much. I figured we want to talk about the two press conferences of Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis primarily, which we did. But Andrew, was there anything else you wanted to add on to this here before we call it a Wednesday evening show? And we'll be back, of course, on Sunday. But anything you wanted to touch on this?
No. Nope. Still doing. Look, we got our first hint that Mayweather might have thrown his name out there this week, right? We got a little bit of a hint that Mayweather said a professional comeback is not off the table. So that was some good news on Monday. Haven't really seen anything. We're at Wednesday now. Haven't seen anything leading up, adding to that little rumor. But I still giggled and had my dream of what Netflix would look like if Terrence Crawford and Floyd ever fought. And
it's going around. It's making the rounds online. It's making the rounds.
If Tyson and Jake could bring in 100 million, Floyd versus Terrence right now, I don't know.
That shit would break Netflix, yo.
Yeah.
Yep. Floyd, if you're listening, Terrence, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. By all means, Allegiant Stadium one more time, please.
Just talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. Just open the dialogue just a little bit. Just have some brainstorming sessions. That's all I'm saying. Who knows? All right. Well, that is going to do it for us on this magnificent Wednesday evening. We will be back next week, of course, Sunday on our usual time, and hopefully we get some more information, more news. Hell, maybe more press conferences. Don't know what the hell's going on this weekend, but we will be back next week. So, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapiche, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Miggs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. We will see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Peace.